Attorneys for Hunter Biden are threatening to sue Fox News for, quote, unlawfully publishing and continuing to publish intimate images of Mr. Biden. They also claim Fox continued to push since discredited bribery allegations as, quote, part of a scheme to paint him in a false light. Hunter Biden's attorney, Mr. Mark Geragos, sent the letter to Fox last week. He joins us along with his podcast co-host, Mr. Adam Carolla. Good to have you both. Mr. Geragos, have you gotten a response to your submission to Fox News?
We have. They this morning they took down the mock trial docuseries, which was streaming on Fox Nation. They've hired a law firm, and they issued a statement that, frankly, I don't know that the law firm issued it, but somebody issued it, and it was wrong on the facts and the law. So we responded to that as well. But to their credit, at least trying to mitigate damages, they already took down this so-called mock trial.
Why should they have to take it down? And why, just because Smirnoff, the guy who made the bribery allegations, has been indicted, that doesn't mean that we know he wasn't telling the truth? Why is Fox in the wrong?
Well, we now have not just the indictment of Smirnoff and the fact that he's, at least if you believe the indictment, is demonstrably false at the information he was feeding. We've also got the congressional testimony of Lev Pernas. We also have additional things that have come to light during our investigation in a very short period of time. It's a wealth of information that shows that there was basically a conspiracy here, and to use and exploit Hunter, and to use Hunter as kind of their pinata, except at this point I'd almost liken it to a slot machine, because they had used Hunter and Hunter's images and her purloined items thousands of times, as has been reported, and was basically clickbait. And so he wasn't going to take that anymore.
Carolla, I know you have affection for Geragos, but do you like his angle on Fox News, or is this an unfair infringement on their ability to have perspective?
Well, as Mark knows, on both sides of the aisle, I'm a big fan of anybody trying to take down any news outlet that's impugning someone's character. I felt very strongly about it with the Covington Catholic school thing and the crazy American Indian guy. I felt it that way when the ladies from The View were attacking Kyle Rittenhouse and calling him a white supremacist. So I think in general, the news needs to slow the roll a little bit when it comes to impugning people's reputation and personality. Hunter Biden's got a lot more miles on him than some of those aforementioned characters, and has been involved with things that were a little shady and nefarious, so he's a less sympathetic character. But in general, if something is untrue and you're profiting off it, then yeah, some of that money should be clawed back.
But we don't know that it's untrue.
You didn't expect that, did you, Cuomo? That kind of took you, I noticed it kind of stunned you a little bit, kind of stopped you right in your tracks. Where are you going with this, Chris?
Listen, I could be doing this and eating a sandwich at the same time. What I'm trying to do is just think about how
then you'd be a grand jury doing an indictment, but that's a whole different subject.
So a ham sandwich. So look, to your point though, it's just an indictment of Smirnoff. It doesn't mean that everything he said is untrue. And the media puts out unflattering pictures and videos of people all the time. Why should Hunter Biden get a different standard?
He doesn't get a different standard. In fact, God save him from the different standard. To echo and build on what Adam just said, and Adam and I have talked about this for over a decade on the podcast, and before that as friends, what has happened is that they use people for certain kinds of clickbaits or attention. They profit off of it. There is a profit motive. And when you do that, you have to, I mean, the law is clear. There is a reason. By the way, do you think Fox just took that down in an abundance of caution, as they said. They did it within 18 hours. I'd invite you to read the letter. We gave them chapter and verse as to why they can't do this and why they need to mitigate their damages, which means reduce their exposure. And to their credit, somebody gave them the advice that they needed to do that. But to Adam's point, there has been a turn in the media where they think that it's just a free-for-all, and that, frankly, to some degree, journalism is dead, and we're presiding over this kind of post-journalistic era.
I disagree.
Chris, I think I can shed some light on this.
Please, go ahead.
If you really
Help
want
your
to get
friend.
to the bottom of this and figure out whether there's really meat on the bone or not for this case. Mark, are you doing this for billable hours or is it on contingency? I think we'll get some clarity here.
Adam has learned that the only way you can determine if a lawyer truly believes in the case is if it's contingency. Because I always tell the clients, if I'm billing you by the hour, that tells you about my belief in the strength of the case. So anybody who knows me knows what I'm doing here. I don't do much billable anymore at all.
Hey, thank you for watching. Please go to newsnationnow.com, newsnationnow.com, and you can find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button down below. Then you will get more of NewsNation's fact-driven coverage.